This Eagles are Super Bowl champs, baby. Edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Earn up to $750 per month. EdgeBoost.bet. Promo code SGPN and Rhythm. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/RATHM. Play the theme song, Kramer. Let's go.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the Super Bowl's green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Just wanted to give a shout out to the merch store. Refs are terrorists now available in hoodie. Even this
nice.
premium Under Armour hoodie here, very nice. Didn't think they affected the game, but I think they every time they threw a flag, it was the worst call I've ever seen.
It was. I'll say
both
that,
teams.
Yeah, it was.
Congratulations, Sean.
Thank you, Ryan.
And congratulations to Saquon Barkley for winning a Super Bowl before Josh Allen, before
Yes.
Lamar Jackson,
Great call.
before Josh Rosen,
Great call.
Sam Darnold. Dave Gettleman must be having a giggle right now.
Congrats to Vic Fangio of the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of people doubt him. Congrats.
Italian American of the week officially.
Shout out.
When I was concerned about my take on the Chiefs when I saw Vic Fangio refuse to give up his meatball recipe.
Yeah.
That was it. He's a real Italian. There's quietly a lot of Italians on the Eagles. Any
Big Dom,
thought that the government might go after
Sirianni.
some RICO charges?
They were acting in a, Eagles get the win, get the cover, shove it on Eagles money line, biggest cash of the night. Of course, gambling wise, Dotson first touchdown. That was so close to coming home.
Oh my God. My God.
Other than that, got the Hurts anytime. You knew that was money.
Think about all the
Devontae
sweats.
Smith.
So many sweats in one day.
It really was.
The kickoff flew out of the back of the end zone.
Well, but and to our credit, we did say the Eagles first kickoff to the Chiefs, he did return it out. So
yeah,
it was 2:15, and unfortunately for us, Eagles got the return first. Eagles just destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs all season long. All season long, I stood here on this studio and heard slander about Jalen Hurts. Oh, he can't get it done. We're just going to load the box and slow down Saquon Barkley, which I didn't think anyone could do. And the Chiefs did it. They slowed down Saquon Barkley, but Jalen Hurts got it done. And the defense, number one defense. I kept saying that. I kept saying leading up to the game, man, I'm as confident as you can be without being cocky. I should have been cocky because that wasn't a fucking game. The Eagles put them in a box and just threw it in a river. They didn't. Eagles were up 34-0, and in my head, I'm still sweating it out because I'm like, oh, it's the Chiefs. You never know; they might come back. They didn't come back.
No.
They didn't have a pulse, and yeah, they got some garbage points and yards late, but man. The Chiefs got their fucking asses kicked, courtesy of the Philadelphia Eagles. Feels great. It's a great redemption story, if it needed to be said, for Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts. Calling him a running back, this and that. This guy's a Super Bowl MVP right now. And
who's the last running back to win Super Bowl MVP?
I don't know.
No, well, it's a good joke. Now a running back won a Super Bowl MVP. He did throw for 2 and pass and
yeah,
run for
he
1.
played. Jalen Hurts played great. That one.
By the way,
other than that, he played a flawless game.
Real quick
Flawless.
pause. The handicap of him being a dog to Barkley in the MVP race was a joke.
Yes.
Even though I was on the wrong side, I was on the right side of that debate.
No, I gave out Jalen Hurts MVP. That cash. The Eagles -7.5. You know that fucking cash.
Barkley.
That wasn't even a sweat. Even the backdoor touchdowns, which was fortunate in our private squares pool for your daughter, Ryan, who once again cashed a mega And unfortunately for our merch guy, Jake,
my God. Hold on. I have to read a text from
okay.
Jake. He goes, this is our chat from this morning. I let him know I had a couple squares left. He ended up going in for it. So it's the square number. He picked 39. He emails it. Okay. Let's have a day. Enjoy the game, man. I then reply at 5:54 PM with the $sign bag because he had just cashed the reverse on halftime. Awesome. So then he goes LFG, and then the next one is F that LOL. No, fuck that, dude.
Well, he's
fuck, dude. What a sweat though. Why
he still got the reverse cash of the.
He got the reverse cash. And I go, you're never gonna guess who Amelia is. He goes, I got a feeling it's your daughter. If it is, tell her she ripped my heart out.
Well, I'm glad to hear Jake won something there, and it's squares, but. Yeah, what a season! What a
13th. I mean, 5-figure score. Some may never see that in their lifetime.
That's why you keep gambling.
Yeah.
Just Ryan. I mean, we'll start on the Eagles defense. I
thought you wanted to start about John Baptiste at a piano. Lock that up.
Lock it up. I mean, that defense was just dominating. I mean, Patrick Mahomes didn't. What plays did Mahomes make? Yeah, he got some stuff garbage late, but like this defense destroyed him top to bottom.
I have some numbers on that. Vic Fangio now 1-8 straight up against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, there was a stat floating around about Vic Fangio being 0-8, 1-8. 1-0 in the playoff. Well, 1-0 in Super Bowls against Patrick Mahomes.
No, 1-8 in all games versus Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but I care about Super Bowls, Ryan. I care about that ring. Vic Fangio, who a lot of people thought, his defense is washed.
Yeah,
he couldn't figure it out. He shut down Patrick Mahomes. And I know a lot of people say, it was the defensive line. Defensive line played great, but also Patrick Mahomes just played shitty.
Yes. It tends to be. I mean, we've seen this before. Great offenses, great quarterbacks. Which, by the way, the Chiefs weren't really that this year. Getting stifled when the other team doesn't have to blitz.
Yeah, and I tried to reiterate it.
And then Tom Brady not acting like he couldn't relate to Patrick Mahomes. Does he not remember the Super Bowl against the Giants?
This is to criticize the broadcast. This is hilarious because Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady was in a Super Bowl where you're down 25. You should explain hey, what should they be doing at halftime? What did you guys do to get going? None of that. And he also got destroyed by a really good defensive line. What happened? And he also won a Super Bowl with a really good defensive line against Patrick Mahomes. Did he talk about any of those stories? He had 3 separate Super Bowls that directly related to the Super Bowl, and we got nothing out of that.
I would also, since you brought it up, why in the fuck, Fox, would you try out some new on-screen bug widget situation? That's the Hall of Fame game.
Yes.
Speaking of which, how the fuck Sterling Sharp didn't have time to come to the Super Bowl? What's that about? Well, you know who would have been there? Eli, which, you, by the way, cashed that kick of destiny, crushed Peyton. I watched it. They were both pretty horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, back to why would you test out a new layout? Our eyes are trained for the entire season. And I can't remember the last. Fox fumbled the bag so hard by not having Greg Olsen on the call and by trying to give our eyes some new candy to digest. Right. I didn't care that I could see more of the game. I didn't want to see that shit.
And we got the phone line open. If you guys want to call in, we're happy to take your calls. Maybe you got some good wins, some tough losses. Everyone, I'm sure, is annoyed at the old Jahan Dotson not getting the first touchdown, but Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown.
It doesn't matter. That hurt. That would have been nice.
That would have been nice.
That would have been like last
year. Cooper
year.
DeJean, pick 6.
We didn't even talk about how I hit Juju first reception.
No, we didn't get to that. let's just talk more about Jalen Hurts, Ryan, because I feel like he's taken a ton of shit this year about how he's not an elite quarterback. Jalen Hurts is now elite. There can be no debate. When you go against Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl and you outplay him by a wide margin, you have to be elite.
You must not be debating me. I'm a wins matter.
No, this is a collective. This is a Dan Orlovsky, a Chris Sims.
No, these guys don't believe that Eli should be in the Hall of Fame either. So.
All right. Well, you're making it about Eli.
Wins don't matter, or they matter.
They do.
They matter.
Wins do matter. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles Super Bowl champs.
Well, I specifically think wins, like the further you get, like each level you go in the playoffs is worth like twice as many wins as the previous level. So
it's fair.
Wild card win is like a 2 regular season wins, and a divisional round win is like 2 wild card wins or 4 regular season games. So a Super Bowl is basically like winning 16 games, Sean.
I agree.
Okay. I do too.
I agree. Shout out to Jalen Hurts.
I mean,
Super Bowl MVP.
He's a hard guy to hate. Now, I think they won the game, so it won't be talked about. But AJ Brown throwing a fucking hissy fit in the game.
Come on, Ryan.
That's ridiculous.
Come on. We're Super Bowl champs.
Yeah,
he's gonna be reading inner excellence on the parade.
Well, what a fucking baby! You guys are winning the game. You're having.
Come on, we don't have any time for that. Right?
Yeah, that's not winning football. I wouldn't be surprised if AJ Brown's not back with the team next year.
He's doing the post game presser with Sirianni. He's going to be back in the Eagles uniform.
The Chiefs are still 17-0 in their last 17 one-score games.
Yeah, congrats. Kept the streak alive, Chiefs. Joining us on the line. I know he's a Bills fan, so I'm assuming
he's going to congratulate you.
Well, I'm assuming he's happy that the Chiefs lost. Patrick Fisher on the line. What's happened, Patrick?
Hold on,
Patrick.
The Discord line is dying. We might need to use Sean's phone. Try again. No. I don't think we got him.
All right.
There he is.
Patrick. Yeah, there you go. What's up, man? How was your Super Bowl? Yes, Eagles. Let's go.
So congratulations. And I just want to say this is going to be real quick, but you can go check the Discord, the NFL chat. I even mixed it up a little bit today during the game, but months ago, the Hurts hate was coming in hot and heavy. And I was defending the guy. I don't understand why you got he's a very good quarterback.
Elite.
And yeah, he's a quarterback that can win you a Super Bowl, and that's enough, right? That's all that matters. So that's the first thing I'm gonna say is congratulations to the Eagles. I watched the game not because I'm butthurt because of what happened to the Bills. It wasn't in my heart. But seeing that score was just so congratulations. I'm glad someone beat the Chiefs. No three-peat. Well done to the Eagles. Well done, Eagles fans. I hope Barkley and Hurts continue to the Super Bowl a couple more times so that the Bills can beat them. There's no excuses. But again, congratulations. Didn't have any bets, but I hope you guys won big. That's it. Have a good night. Let it ride.
Let it ride, Patrick Fisher. Good to hear from you. And I assume the line's going to be jam packed with people apologizing for all their Hurt slander.
Have you had your? I know that there's been a lot of heat in your Eagles chats. A lot of dissent against.
Oh, just
Hurts.
one guy, one individual.
Where is he right now?
He hates
in the caves in Afghanistan.
He hates Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, so that's tough. If you hate both those guys.
I did get a text before the game was over from Justin, basically angrily saying you didn't give us any respect.
Yeah, no, you didn't. Right. Joining us on the line, Daquan, the great Daquan. What does it feel like waking up knowing Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl champion tomorrow morning?
Well, I'm not sure how I feel about it waking up, but going to sleep drunk, it felt fucking great.
Let's go.
Kramer, you're definitely right though. Fuck Dan, winning matters.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, generally, I think it's hilarious the way that the media is trying to push us to a world where stats matter. Look at the NBA. You don't need to watch the game. You just watch the highlights.
Also, great example. Saquon Barkley, there was a lot of talk about, oh, he's got to go for the record. Come on, it's the record. Meanwhile, they didn't play him. He had a great playoffs. And also, too, the Super Bowl.
2.3 yards a carry in the Super Bowl.
I said he had a great playoffs.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs tried to slow him down. They were able to. And Jalen Hurts fucking beat him for him.
I agree. My handicap was spot on. I said Spags would load up on Barkley and put this in Hurts' hands.
Yeah, then you said Hurts would lose.
Well, I stopped talking at that part of the handicap. That part of the handicap was dead on. Hurts proved me wrong. And I didn't expect Mahomes to be a little bitch.
Daquan, how was your Super Bowl?
I had a great time, man. I drank a little bit too much Johnny Walker.
I've been there.
But very, very enjoyable day. I do have one quick question for you, man. Is it fair to say that Cooper DeJean's the best white defensive back ever?
I mean,
I don't know. Let's calm down.
He had a pick six of Patty Mahomes. People that were saying, "Oh, he's the Michael Jordan of our generation." First off, Michael Jordan never lost a championship, so I think you have to reevaluate. Patty Mahomes 3-2, that's good, but Jordan was 6-0 in championships. I think you need to give your tip a little hat to Jordan there, and intercepting Patty Mahomes and taking to the house in the Super Bowl. Cooper DeJean, exciting whites, and we're going to be talking about Super Bowl odds for next year. But I mean, a lot of these big Eagles defenders were on rookie contracts. Jalen Hunt, a guy they drafted this year. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. These are all guys they drafted this year. And Vic Fangio, some people were saying that his scheme was cooked, that Mahomes and the league had him figured out, and they didn't. This is the best year and best Eagles defense of all time. So yes, he is the best white defensive back.
All right. One more question for you, Sean. With all the money that you won over this football season,
pretty sweet.
Who do you think that you'll go ahead and throw a little bit of cash on for March Madness to win it all?
Oh, that's great.
That's next big.
That's a great question.
Easy.
What is that? St. John's,
St.
right?
John's.
I mean, Slick Rick.
Yeah.
St. John's hasn't won a tournament game since 2000.
When did they have Slick Rick as their coach?
They didn't have him as the coach before last year. They look good, man.
Well, also college basketball is weird. Like I feel like I never make a ton of futures in college basketball. It's all finding those spots of those like frisky dogs in the tournament, in the conference tournament. Long shots I think are almost better bets than March Madness. But we will be turning the page. I know there's new listeners, new viewers. Shout out to everyone who hopped in Sports Gambling Podcast this year. We will be transitioning to college basketball, and then and obviously hitting on a bunch of NFL preseason because the off season officially starts tomorrow.
Yeah, and we will do our first futures episode tomorrow.
Great to hear from you, Daquan, and of course, shout out to Edge Boost. Imagine all those reward bucks you could have been using on some of the nice long shot bets. Go to edgeboost.bet, use the promo code SGPN, get those cash back rewards. Love me some Edge Boost, baby. Edge Boost is just awesome. FDIC insurance. I mean, I can give you all the details, but really it's a debit card you use to bet on sports, and then they give you extra money. Well, what more do I have to say? Get in over at edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. And of course, shout out to my bookie. Always love my bookie. Bunch of great props that I feel like we did pretty good on some of the sillier my bookie stuff, Ryan, that they had going. And of course, mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Get the 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. Mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. All right, let's keep it going. Phone lines are lit. And who do we got here? Nick Fortune, I think. Nick, what's up, man? You're on the Sports Gambling Podcast.
How we doing, Sean? Congratulations.
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Congratulations here. I'd like to point out just a couple things here. Shout out to my boy J Mark from Old Fashioned Football recommending me putting tails on the coin toss. Catch
Very
that
good.
as well. Tails never fails.
It did fail
shout out
me.
to Easy for his defensive plays as well. The Zach
Zach Vaughn INT. Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Just cash that in. And also,
yes, sir.
I'm really sad I didn't put a bet in, but again, really happy for a cornerback that you selected in the NFL draft from
Iowa,
reigning
baby.
tight end university, Iowa Hawkeyes, Cooper fucking DeJean getting an interception.
Let's go. You know, and Circa it did have a Cooper DeJean to score a touchdown, and I'm like, of all the crazy shit I bet on, I looked at it and I didn't bet it. That was my only regret from the Super Bowl.
It was like 60 to 1, right?
Oh, it was more than that.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. It was pretty. It was pretty
I have the sheet. Hold on.
Yeah, look that up, Ryan. I swear it was higher than that. I'm gonna have some FOMO. But Nick, how was your Super Bowl? You cash any bets?
Oh yeah, just cashing a couple props as well for you. You know, happy that the three-peat didn't happen, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens next year, and we'll go from there.
We all are as Eagles fans. Appreciate you calling in, Nick. Great NFL season, of course. Let it ride.
Let it ride.
Joining us, the man who recommended the Zach Bond INT, and I was on Easy's level. I thought it was going to be linebackers and safeties. It ended up being DeJean and Bond. I did give out the interception ladder for Mahomes there, 1 and 2 INTs. But Easy, you had the nuts. You had the Zach Bond INT. Congrats. How was the rest of your Super Bowl?
Hey, yeah. So, Sean, I guess I should congratulate you like everybody else, so I don't look like a dick.
It's like being at a wedding and everyone coming up to the father.
Yeah, come on. They're paying their respects, Ryan.
Golly.
Hey, come on.
I have to do it for him this year, so he does it to me next year.
Oh yes, all
hey,
right.
I always love the Super Bowl. Obviously, I love it more when the Eagles are in it and they win it because that was fucking awesome. But I also, Ryan, you've known me for a long time. Do I not get excited for the Super Bowl, regardless of who's in it?
That's how the Super Bowl song started.
Super Bowl, yeah, yeah, yeah. Super Bowl, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, what a Super Bowl! But Easy, how was your Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was pretty good overall. I mean, we just missed on the Dotson first touchdown.
Oh my god!
Yeah, just a killer. I did have Jalen Hurts first down too as a backup though, so not too mad on that. I am gonna throw myself in the locker though because I did fuck up earlier today. If you remember when I was actually on the show last week, my 2 interception plays were Zach Bond and Brian Cook. And then I call in today and I slip up and say Justin Reed instead of Brian Cook. So I actually went 2 for 3 on the interceptions, but fucked up and can't really tout the Brian Cook.
That's all right. We all make mistakes. I mean, I accidentally bet the over Eagles team total instead of the under.
But Brian sold that to me.
But I was like, I don't want to play this. But Sean, here, I'll sell it to you. So I didn't lose and Sean won.
No, it's a win-win. And I paid Kramer and chips here in the studio. Had a couple of the Circa chips.
We had a transaction in Los Angeles that involved Circa chips.
Yeah, shout out to the Circa. Great book. Easy. Sorry. What else? How was were you on the Eagles for the side? I forget.
No, I was on the Chiefs. So yeah, I was wrong on that one.
No.
Not because I didn't think the Eagles could win, but how do you bet against Patrick Mahomes?
Easily.
Until you find out that he sucks. So
you look so bad.
Now, Easy. Obviously, I'm really biased, and it'll be hard for me to be impartial looking at the Super Bowl. But, what does this impact Patrick Mahomes' legacy? I think that's a legit question. Again, I was kind of joking around, but there were people saying he was the Michael Jordan of our generation. Michael Jordan doesn't go 3-2 in Super Bowls. He goes 5-0. He's Michael Jordan. I think this is a legit dent in the Patrick Mahomes legacy. He'll still obviously he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but when comparing him to Brady, I think, if he would have won this, if he would have won the Super Bowl against the Bucks, it's not a conversation. Now it's a conversation, but Easy, where do you have this impacting Patrick Mahomes' legacy? I think it has to impact it because he certainly was pressured, right? But he also looked like shit.
Yeah, I definitely think it impacts him negatively, not because he lost the game. I mean, everybody loses games, but because of how bad he looked
like shit
while losing. Yeah, I mean, like Brady, obviously he's lost games, lost Super Bowls, but he didn't look as bad and as rattled as Mahomes did. I mean, Mahomes was, anytime he was pressured, he looked really bad. And I think that kind of shows more of anything than just the loss does in general. I think the gameplay kind of affected it some too. Like, why did the Chiefs not try to run the ball at all, especially in the first quarter?
Yeah.
So I think that impacted it some too. But yeah, I mean, Mahomes just did not look good. and he didn't really have a good season at all. You know, the team had a good season, obviously, but he really didn't. So I think that as a whole definitely impacted it.
No, and their stats were bad, and then it was just like, well, and it, you know, obviously I'm dialed into it, but like the Eagles at times their stats weren't great in the passing game, and I would go, well, they're winning just like the Chiefs, but obviously the Chiefs get the benefit of the doubt because they're the Chiefs. They're Patrick Mahomes. They'll turn it on whenever they need to, and then they couldn't turn it on for the big game. Kramer, this has to impact Mahomes' legacy.
I mean, all right. So of course, anytime you lose versus win, it hurts. Like the pivot point of how it hurts your legacy is
huge.
Because especially in the regard of, you're not just saying he's 3-2. He got beaten badly in a Super Bowl. You're saying he didn't three-peat. Because if he three-peats, he immediately goes to the front of the line.
Better if Mahomes three-peated, I think he's immediately above Brady.
Now, I will also say that this team maybe doesn't do what they did this year if not for Patrick Mahomes. So he himself getting the team to the Super Bowl may have, he impacts his own legacy just by getting there. Look, he's dominating his conference filled with the quote unquote best quarterbacks in the league. Like there's a certain element of this, like the further away you get,
Lamar Jackson also a guy.
The further away you get, the more you'll judge him based on how dominant he was in his decades or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact that when you look at this time, it resembles a time where you have a lot of very talented players will remember. Like these are all quarterbacks that have a chance to be Hall of Famers. And so when we look back 20 years, it's like, damn, he was keeping all these dudes from the Super Bowl. But I agree with you. Now he doesn't have his three-peat. Also, Tom Brady never got his ass beat in a Super Bowl, like not by a mile. And so,
I mean, the Giants Super Bowl and the Eagles loss were both one-score games, and even both losses.
But he didn't look like he
didn't look lost.
This game, you could tell
they didn't want it, and I know it sounds crazy.
Well, what I don't get is they didn't have a plan.
There was no adjustments,
and the adjustments didn't happen.
Now let's look at Nick Sirianni's legacy, which I know for some people sounds crazy for Nick Sirianni to have a legacy, but we have to talk Nick Sirianni legacy because now he's in his 4th year. He's already won a Super Bowl. He's already won an NFC conference championship. I think it's pretty easy to say in 4 years already, he's the greatest Philadelphia Eagles head coach of all time, let alone his win-loss record. He's seen as a complete and utter joke in the league. Does his like how people see him change, Ryan?
I mean, I'll let Easy answer as a Lions fan.
Yeah.
Because that feels like a good, like, are you worried? Is this a Ryan Day situation or is this a situation where it's like, okay, damn, they got a coach that's going to be there for a while?
I mean, I personally, I think Sirianni's a goofball.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just a weird dude. He's emotional a lot. That probably benefits him in the locker room some, but it also definitely hurts him in some situations too. I think his coordinators help him out a lot. And also the Eagles are known to be a franchise that, they fire coaches pretty quickly or, when it's arguably not the time to do it yet or however you want to word that. So, I think this definitely helps his legacy to the way Sean put it. But I mean, I wouldn't put him up on like a pedestal or anything yet because I think he has a little bit lower of a ceiling than a lot of other coaches. And I also don't think he has as much leeway in an Eagles organization as some other teams would allow him.
Let's be fair. His ceiling is a Super Bowl. We just watched it, and he outcoached Andy Reid by a fucking country mile.
I would
that needs to be stated on record. Okay. Nick Sirianni outcoached Andy Reid by a country mile. Correct, Ryan?
I think this is a good example of why. And the Giants have had their best success when the head coach is just the head coach, not a coordinator. And you have the, willingness to be comfortable enough in your skin to hire good coordinators who might be better than you at that job.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because you're the head coach.
Well, Andy Reid was so good in in Philadelphia, and again, never reached the heights of Nick Sirianni. But Andy Reid was very good when he had Jim Johnson, and finding Vic Fangio, maybe Vic Fangio can be his Jim Johnson, a guy who's older, not interested in being a head coach, can do work wonders on the defensive side, get the best out of these street free agents. Zach Bond, they signed for $3 million. And clearly Sirianni is like Tomlin with results, I think would be my analysis.
Well, and I mean, that's why it's an easy avenue to cut at those types of coaches, because they're not really doing anything quote unquote plus EV. And oftentimes they do have a little bit of emotion in their character. And so the conversation, it just creates a weird conversation because they don't call the plays for the offense or the defense, and the nerds and the spreadsheets can't comprehend that. And they can't comprehend the idea of leadership, or like they haven't served in the military, so they don't understand the idea of a unit being greater than the sum of its parts. And you have to give Sirianni, but I think also Jalen Hurts, a ton of credit for that. I mean, dealing with petulant child AJ Brown, being able to take a backseat to Barkley and his stardom and all that shit.
Well, whatever you bring up some of the AJ Brown enjoying books, Saquon Barkley.
AJ Brown is still a petulant child.
All right, that's your take.
I just said a nice thing
about. He's a petulant
about,
child with a Super Bowl ring.
Yes. Yeah. But he's a petulant fucking child. Like the fact that he threw a tantrum in this game is crazy.
Love him. Don't want anyone else being our receiver. And the Patriots fans that say, "Oh, he's unhappy. We're gonna trade for him." Good fucking luck.
Easy.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
We're talking Super Bowl 60 futures tomorrow.
Eagles,
when are you
running
buying?
it back,
when are you
baby.
buying? When are you buying your Lions future? Early, or are you waiting for the season?
I already did about an hour ago.
What was the number you got?
Plus 900.
Okay. Easy's in.
All right, Easy. Great season.
Hell yeah.
Always appreciate your calls. Very smart guy.
Go hang
Knows
with
his
Easy
shit.
in the Discord.
Yeah, great. Check him out in the Discord. Appreciate it, Easy.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Let it ride. Yeah, Scott saying Sirianni goated. Yeah, I think it's
if you win a Super Bowl, you
don't accidentally go to a Super Bowl, then win a Super Bowl, then outcoach Andy Reid. You don't, and Andy Reid has Steve Spagnuolo. He has very good coordinators as well. He has Patrick Mahomes. So to not give Sirianni his roses for outcoaching the Kansas City Chiefs, top to bottom. Now I know some of it's scheme stuff. Sirianni is involved in everything. He is the head coach. To not give him credit for outcoaching Andy Reid, I think is crazy. And there are people that say,
are they not giving him credit?
Oh yeah, I mean, people in the chat are saying Sean could have. All
right, so here's a fun game. All right, so we talked about this before the Super Bowl, but the Eagles are now the 16th team in the NFL to have 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, keep talking.
Is kind of a staggering list. How many coaches do you think have had more than 2 Super Bowl appearances? So Nick Sirianni now has 2, right?
Yep. More than 2, or just 2? More than 2. It's got to be like 6.
So like,
coaches.
what's the level above? 12.
12. Okay.
Bill Parcells, Mike Holmgren. Who, by the way, Mike Holmgren 1-2. Bill Parcells 2-1. Bill Walsh 3-0. Dan Reeves 0-4. So got there 4 times, lost all 4. Marv Levy,
God rest his soul.
Bud Grant 0-4 with the Vikings. Joe Gibbs 3-1. Chuck Noll 4-0. Andy Reid now 3-3. Tom Landry 2-3. Again, losing record. Don Shula 2-4, losing record.
Yep.
Bill Belichick 6-3. So it's a pretty short list.
If he gets to a 3rd Super Bowl and wins a 2nd one, he's in year 4.
Here's the list of
right. But just like I know people's critiques with Nick Sirianni, but if you just looked at his win-loss record, the fact that he's already been to 2 Super Bowls and he won one in his 4th year, people would be talking about him as like Sean McVay.
No, I think he is what people thought Frank Reich was. That would be my take.
Yeah, I mean Frank Reich was a great play caller.
No
for
results.
The 2017.
No results, but somehow was given, year after year of people saying, "Yeah, Frank Reich's going to fix this situation. He's going to handle it." Whereas, I mean, Sirianni, I think fairly gets the shit thrown at him because of how he acts. And so, to your point, the team maybe flourishes based on that. Also, what if he's just trying to draw attention away from the team? Because, I don't think he's that crafty, but I'll give him credit for maybe trying. Sean, do you want to hear the list of coaches who have 2 Super Bowl appearances?
Yeah.
Vince Lombardi, the trophy's named after him.
What was his record?
2-0.
All right.
Tom Flores, Oakland Raiders, 2-0. Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
People remember him as this
go long,
great coach, 2-0. George Seifert, another one, right? Niners, great coach, 2-0. Mike Shanahan, 2-0. Tom Coughlin, 2-0. These are all coaches that people consider to be
first ballot Hall of Famers.
Great. Yeah, I mean, mostly great coaches. Hank Stram, Chiefs, 1-1. Also, just like if you're watching NFL films and you catch some Hank Stram footage, just classic old football coach. Dick Vermeil, again, we're talking Hall of Famers. Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin, Pete
Dick
Carroll.
Vermeil was 1-1, right?
These guys are all 1-1. Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin, Pete Carroll, Sean McVay, and then you got
Sean McVay, 1-1, the Golden Boy.
Then you got outlier John Fox, 0-2. Somehow he made 2 Super Bowls.
Poor guy.
And wait, hold on, Sean. This is one. Open up your X account right now. Kyle Shanahan, 0-2. There you go.
Nick Sirianni winning a Super Bowl before Kyle Shanahan. God bless the NFL.
Also did not blow a 24-point or larger lead in the Super Bowl.
No, and that's coming back to the game itself. Like I was trying to, when it was 24-0 at halftime, like be cool, hey guys, it's the Chiefs, they can come back. Yeah. I was very confident coming in. Again, bet the Eagles alternate line at -7.5. Nice giant play for me there. But I was concerned that the Chiefs offense would start cooking at some point. Ryan,
they did at the end.
Well, yeah, when it was complete garbage time. They didn't score till it was 34-0.
The trifecta ending up being Mahomes, Worthy, Hurts was crazy for leading passer, rusher, and receiver.
Michael Rogers wanting to know, can you confirm CJ is okay? Yeah, CJ doing great. Shout out to the laddie daddy himself. He had a nice exacta, Ryan.
Well, yeah, full story. We started a pleaser segment on VSiN.
Yes.
A couple weeks back, and the week we hit the pleaser, as a thank you for CJ doing the show, I was kicking him a free pleaser.
Yeah.
Which that might sound funny. I was giving CJ a free pleaser,
and
so I was free rolling him on a $20 pleaser every week. So when we cashed, he then reinvested the winnings into some futures, of which the majority went to a Eagles Chiefs exacta. And what week was this, Sean? Would you say? We were still doing pleasers, so
it was like 16 or 15. Yeah. It was like almost the end of the regular season.
So I won't disclose his price, but it was a nice
Ryan. And shout out to our underdog lineup. So
did we
close.
Cash?
No, we went 4 out of 5.
What did we miss on?
Mahomes rushing attempts.
No, he had 4.
He had 4.
Loser.
We hit on Kelsey lower 62.5 receiving yards. Hurts higher 213.5. Devonta Smith, which I've been touting the entire time. John Dotson, and I was fading Xavier Worthy, and I feel okay by that, but obviously he got some garbage stuff there. I did cash a Jalen Hurts anytime, Mahomes higher 2.5 sacks, Devonta Smith higher 50.5 receiving yards. I used my boost token on that. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. Make sure you hit them up, and shout out to Rhythm Sports Gambling Podcast.com/RATHMM. Get your 7-day free trial today. Get in over there. Get in on the 7-day free trial. They got you covered. All right. Yeah, Ryan, my voice is cooked, hitting the wall. Man, what a season. Just it was just fucking awesome. It really was. What was your take on the NFL season, Ryan?
It was very profitable playoffs.
Yeah.
I ended up probably. I'll have to see what the wacky stuff offshore. Which,
yeah, I mean,
by the way, for those before you ask, the arrest dashboard in New Orleans is about 5 days behind.
I know everyone's really locked in on that.
I think by the time we do the VSiN show on Friday, we should have the data.
Okay, and
but yeah, no, it was a very good playoffs. I think I probably walked away with a what's this, Sean?
YouTube.com/sportsgambling podcast. Our buddy Decker, who's a maniac, love him. You guys know Decker if you're diehard fans. He was like, you got to climb the pole. He climbed the pole in a Hurts jersey, and I'm like, all right, you're not going to be the only one. So downtown Eagle Rock, here is me climbing the pole. We'll get a little bit of the audio. I didn't want to go. I mean, getting up to that next level in the pole. Even getting up that high was pretty tough. I maybe could have got up to the higher level, but man, that would have been.
Oh my god!
Well, and it's swinging up there, and then your hands are all dirty from the pole climbing. Shout out to the poles. I'm sure they're greased as the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champs. Ryan, any closing thoughts on the 2024 NFL season? Just an amazing season. Shout out to me, Cash My Future, Eagles Super Bowl.
I did. I mean, it's not going to be the headline because it wasn't a massive banger that I spent the entire Super Bowl media week telling everyone to bet, but I did hit 2 years in a row now. 2 years running, I've hit the first reception.
Great hit, Ryan. Great
for
hit.
a team in the Super Bowl.
And man, Jahan Dotson, we almost got there. That would, oh my God, the Jahan Dotson. And I like live, I didn't think he'd get it, but then the ref that was standing there looking right at him put his arms up, so I started celebrating. Then immediately you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
So that was a bad beat, but other than that, very profitable Super Bowl, profitable NFL playoffs. Ryan, you kept saying you were the one who always locked up the Eagles. Should have kept it going.
Chiefs and the Eagles.
Yeah, well,
I had to pick one, and I told myself I wasn't betting against Mahomes. But I've never seen. It's almost like he forgot to go into the phone booth and change. He was still that nerd who wrote for the newspaper. That's
one of my regrets of the Super Bowl, that we didn't get old Tony Romo on the call. Hey, Jim. Mahomes is getting his cape. They always say he's getting his cape.
Never in a million years would I have thought, boy, would I love to have Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on the call.
Jalen Hurts, best quarterback in the league. Confirm?
Based on if I was starting a team today.
No, just if you had to say who's the number one quarterback, it has to be Jalen Hurts.
No.
Dude,
I'm not going to go that far.
Fucking wins.
Yeah, I agree. He gets credit for the wins. That doesn't make him the number one guy. His team is the number one team from this season. He had a good season.
He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
He did outplay Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Confirm.
Yeah.
And certainly gave him all he could in Super Bowl 57, hair short.
Eli outplayed Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. You're measured in a little bit more than that.
So wait, what do you say?
I'm saying you can't. A lot
of Eli mentions on this Super Bowl 59 recap.
Well, I'm just saying you can't use one game to say he's the best in the league.
Okay.
He had the best team this season, and they won the biggest game, and he was a big reason why.
Jalen Hurts, elite, yes or no?
Yeah, you have to say he's an elite quarterback.
I agree. It's been an entire season of.
I
people
play fantasy
otherwise.
football. He's been in the top.
Here we go. All he does is that brotherly shove. That's the only thing he got. That dime to Devontae Smith to break the game. That was the backbreaker.
He gets lucky with throws from time to time.
Oh yeah. Well, in the chat, in the chat, they're saying,
yep.
"Oh, Sean could have coached this team."
Really?
Oh yeah.
They think you're a good coach. That's nice.
I appreciate that.
Maybe it's just a compliment of you.
Shout out to Nick.
Why
Sirianni.
do you take that as a dig at Sirianni? By making it a dig at Sirianni, it's a dig at you.
Not well. I'm a great coach, but I'm not as good as Nick Sirianni.
Maybe
shout out to Nick Sirianni. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. Shout out to that Eagles defense just destroying Patrick Mahomes. I think it was a bigger Ryan. And we'll close on this. More embarrassing loss for Patrick Mahomes, the Tampa Bay game or this one?
This one.
Okay.
I mean, that one was against Tom Brady much earlier in his career.
Yeah.
This was against a running back playing quarterback.
Trying to get me fired up, Ryan. Save it for next season. Save it for next season. And I'm already feeling the narrative that they don't believe in us.
Oh,
they don't think we can run it back, baby.
Definitely don't look at Jalen Hurts' cap hits coming up. You don't want to look at that.
Oh, Howie Roseman. You want to talk about friend of the pro? Shout out to Howie Roseman getting it done. Great job. And a lot of the defense. I mean, all the defensive guys are in rookie contracts, Ryan.
I know.
League's on trouble.
The league's in trouble. Guys.
Vic Fangio's not going anywhere. This Philadelphia Eagles team isn't going anywhere. God bless Jalen Hurts. God bless Nick Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles. Your Super Bowl champs.
Who's the first holdout in the offseason?
Come on, Ryan. You didn't throw enough salt this season.
I'm asking questions at the chat.
Give us our flowers. Give us our flowers.
I already did. I said a lot of very nice things.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice things.
Go Beeb saying I'm going to call out sick tomorrow. Nope. Content has no days off.
Who's calling it sick?
Yeah, come on. I haven't called out sick ever. Since 2011, we've picked every NFL game against the spread. Even when I get sick, I just power through and tell myself I'm not sick, and thus I'm not sick. I will be here. Kramer will be here. We'll be breaking down Super Bowl odds for next year. Then we're hitting college basketball. A lot of gambling to be had. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Great season. Shout out to the winners of our Super Bowl squares. Again, giving away $2,000 just because we like you guys, and you guys do a great job of hitting that subscribe button, tossing us a 5-star rating, making this a great season, spreading the word. We didn't even talk about the great Bloomberg article that we got written up, and it was all about the community. You guys,
we should talk about that with CJ tomorrow.
Yeah, we will. We'll get into it and appreciate it. And of course,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Congratulations, Sean.
Thank you, Kramer. Let it ride.